Hello everyone, hello YouTube, this is Sam TCG with another PSA return video. This one is special, not just because I've spent a lot of money with this sort of gamble, but I've done something crazy. What I did for most of these is I got Beckett 9.5s, mangas from One Piece, and I've regraded them through PSA. I've cracked the case and sent them to PSA, and I'm hoping for PSA 10s. As of February 2025, I looked up all the prices and everything, and at that moment, Beckett or BGS 9.5s were worth less than PSA 10, and we know that Beckett is a little bit more strict with their grading process and everything. So 9.5s in Beckett usually means PSA 10. Most of the time, not all the time. So I've done this this gamble where I bought some. There's a few of them that are from my God pack that I've gotten in the past, and I've from PW1. I graded all this God pack, sent it over to Beckett, and got mostly 10s. I got a few 9.5s. 9.5s that I've got is Sogeking, and another one I got, I guess, Nami, and a Chopper. Actually, no, Chopper, I bought that separately. And so I've got two from the God pack that I've cracked and sent to PSA, and the other 5 I have bought already graded at BGS 9.5 on eBay. So I'll be going through each one of these cards separately and letting you know what I paid for them in the past, what my research showed, and then what it's worth now with the grade it gets. So we're gonna hope it's all PSA 10. So the first two I've actually seen the grades already, just because they got in a different submission and I couldn't stop myself from looking at them. So I looked at them. I'll be less surprised for these. I'll be really excited to see the last 5. So if I look up at my notes right now for this card here. So this card here is a Japanese card. So my notes say that at the time, this manga Shanks, not PRB, just manga Shanks from the OP01 set in Japanese. In BGS 9.5, it was worth 500 US. I'll talk in US price just because everyone's used to US price, even us Canadians. I bought that for a lot more than market price, saying that, you know, maybe it'll be worth more in the future. So it was worth 500 US in 9.5, and I paid 845 US. A little bit crazy. I did do it fast, and I'm not sure that I noticed that it was a Japanese card. So that's a lot, but you know, I think it's still fun in the end. The subgrades were these: Romance Dawn, Japanese, BGS 9.5, Gem Mint, technically. Centering was 9, corners was 9.5, surface was 9.5, and edges were 9.5. So it got a grade at 9.5. So I took it out of the case, sent it, hoping for a 10. The reason for that is because at the time a PSA 10 was worth 900 USD. So at 900 US, it was technically a small profit of 50 US, and then it cost me $20 to grade it. So it was a little bit of a crazy thing to do, but you know what? At the end, I think it's fine. So it ended up being a 10. So PSA 10, which is crazy with the subgrades that you saw. It should be a 9, and this was the worst subgrades of all the cards. So wow. Recent research showed that the manga Shanks Japanese original, I paid $850, probably close to $900 US, and PSA 10 is worth 800 Canadian dollars. So it's around 650 US. So I lost money for this one, clearly. And this is the last sold values that are now. So it's actually closer to, this is in Canadian. So it's around 650, 700 US dollars. So you know what, I lost a little bit of money there. So we'll see what happens. Do I want to sell it at 650, 700 US, or do I want to keep it? I put this price tag on because maybe I'd be down to sell it It's not a card I really want to keep in the collection when it's worth that much, and I'm not a huge fan of Shanks, but I do like him, and it's from the first set, kind of cool, first manga. So here we go. We're gonna put this to the side. With this, we are sort of happy with that one, but we still lost some money. The next one is one of the Namis. So one of the Namis I bought on eBay as a BGS 9.5, and the other Nami that you're gonna see later is one that I've bought, that I've pulled in the gut pack. So one of these two had 9.5 centering and surface 9.5. The other two were 10, so I got a 9.5 in the end. So pretty good subgrades, pretty good chances at PSA 10. The other one is similar, centering 9.5, but corners 9.5. Surface 10 on this one. So a little bit different, but still about the same gamble. Crossing my fingers, the same. So let's say we say this one is the one that I bought. So PSA BGS 9.5 was I don't remember, but I paid, total is 1,400 Canadian, which is $1,000 US for this card in a BGS 10. And from recent research, the manga Nami in PSA 10 is around $2,000 Canadian, so about 1,600 US. So already, if I get a 10, I'm happy with that. And this card, they did something interesting, because if I sneak a little bit here, you're gonna see JP here for Japan. So this card that is clearly an English card, you on play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, etc. And Nami, and you know, it's clearly an English version of this card, and they mislabeled it as a Japanese. And we got a 10. I feel like this is probably, you know, you guys let me know if you've seen one of these before get mislabeled, like literally this card, this Nami English graded as a Japanese card. It might be the only one in the world, I don't know. And it's because I sent it grading with this one. I think they just saw, oh, this one is Japanese, so then this one must be Japanese also, without looking at the language. I mean, how do you look at the card and look at all the details and say, oh, it's a 10 because it's perfect, but don't notice that it's English? I don't know, probably just a misclick, but still. Cool error. I think it's worth more than PSA 10 English Nami manga. I think it's worth more. Probably in the over 1,600, probably around 2K US. I will not sell it for now. I will not break it. I will not send it to get regraded as an English card. I'm happy with that. I find it super cool. So these were the 2 cards that I knew the grades for. So let's get the others close here. Sogeking. So like I said, Sogeking is a card that I've pulled from the God Pack a long time ago, and so I decided to regrade it to regrade it from BGS 9.5 to a version the PSA. So I'm not sure actually how much it's worth in a PSA 10. I didn't write the numbers down, but it was clear to me that if it's well, it will be worth more as a PSA 10. So if it gets a 10, I'm happy. If it's a 9, no, I'm gonna have lost money, but it's okay. So here we go, a gem at 10. So a BGS 9 in this ends up as a BGS 10, PSA 10 I mean. So let's just get the label from Beckett out. Sogeking was a 9.5. It was centering 9.5. I don't see it. Edges 9.5. I don't see anything wrong with the edges. And the corners 10, surface 10. So I mean, this was another one that we expected getting a 10. So I'll put this aside. This one aside too. It's definitely over 1,000. I guess like 800 US at least. And it's creeping up. Others, we're gonna have more information on the values. Tony Chopper. This was the label from BGS. This one I bought on eBay for, I don't know, I can't remember all these prices, so that's why I'm checking. So Manga, Chopper, PRB reprint, pulled from the God Pack. Do they know? It was supposed to be PRB. They don't notice Peter. They don't. Oh, I don't know what to do with these, to be honest. Like I will have to look it up. But this was clearly a PRB from the label, the BGS. I did not pull this one, so I don't know. Maybe they mislabeled it in BGS, but I'll have to check exactly what the difference for this one. I think for most of them, this here, but EBO 01, I think it's different. Anyways, the BGS label said centering 9.5 and surface 9.5. The rest was perfect. Yeah, PRB, clearly premium booster on this label here. And it's not on this, but it should be. I hate when it's maybe mislabeled because I don't want to, let's say I sell it because I'm not the hugest Chopper fan. I don't want to, you know, tell people that pretend it's the original, and I hate that. Or a mislabel, it's annoying for this kind of thing. It's not annoying when it's clearly off, the Japanese versus English, but this is annoying. So I paid 600 US for this at the time at BGS 9.5. The market was a little bit lower than that, but I was fine since PSA 10 value was at 1800 US at the time. So it just made sense to try and send it. Let's say that I spend more on shipping and everything. Yeah, so I had 80 USD for duties. Oops. This is what I wrote, actually. Oops. But I think it's still fine if we get a 10. So if we get a 10, this card is worth 2,300 in Canadian, but 1,800 in US. So let's go. And it looked perfect. I mean, I don't see anything wrong. I would show you if I thought maybe. It's a gem intense. Perfect. So, you know, gambling is bad in general, but when it's with my experience and risk tolerance, I figured this was an okay gamble to make, and it was almost sure, you know, for most of them. And even if I get one that's graded a 9, you know, I lose money on that card specifically, but because I did send more than just that one, I'm still profiting from this. And some of these I'm going to keep in the collection for a while because mangas do seem to be creeping up, and I don't really have to sell them right away to pay for more things. So this is the other manga, Nami. One of them I did get on eBay as a BGS 9.5. The other one I pulled myself, and a God Pack got 9.5. I don't know which is which, but I'm hoping for 10 in both. This one is well labeled. It is from PRB. It is English, so we're good. Gem at 10. Let's go. Let's go. Same price as earlier for PSA 10. It's around what, 1,700 US. Crazy. Manga Zoro, and this is awesome because it is the original. It's not a PRB, so this is well labeled. Happy with that. From OP06. I paid $750 US for this. Market value at the time for BGS 9.5 was $550. So I did pay more than market value at the time, but I accepted that because I figured it'd be a PSA 10 and it would be worth more after. So I'm fine with that. So 710 total with shipping and everything. So 710 USD, and we'll see what happens. In PSA 10, it is worth, in recent sales, it's worth, my God, like 3,000 US. In Canadian, it's 3,900. That's crazy. And it's usually 1.4, you know, times the price in US. So 2,800 US to 3,000 US. So I'd be really happy to get this in a PSA 10. That's probably the best gamble I did in the whole pack. So gem mint 10. What is going on? I'm all. It's hot in here. We got fire. We got fire. Look at that beautiful card. Wow. I'm happy they didn't think this was a PRB, because that would be even more annoying. And the last one, Ace. Ace, I bought this also on eBay as a Beckett 9.5. I paid 700 US, and at the time it was worth 500 US. So I paid a lot more, you would say. I paid a lot more than what market price for a Beckett 9.5, but in my mind it was a PSA 10. So I was okay to pay a little bit more, thinking that PSA 10 is worth more anyway. So in PSA 10 at the time, just to show you my reasoning at the time, PSA 10 was worth 900 and 1,000 US dollars. So I figured if I buy it at 735 exactly, the auction US 735, I'd be able to go and grade it for 20 US extra and the shipping and whatever, and it would still be worth more than that as a PSA 10. So let's see, PSA 10 value now is around 2,200 US dollar. In Canadian, that's 2,700 Canadian as a PSA 10. So if we get a PSA 10, we're doubling our money. Ridiculous. Also, one of the best moves I did, and it's a Gem Mint 10. So I don't know what you guys want to take away from this video. Just know that the research was done in February. You know, and now we're in November. So it's literally 9 months ago that I did all the research. It took all that time to grade them, and to keep them and receive them from shipping, and debate what to do with them, look at the condition. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of stress over a lot of money. Obviously, that's seven mangas. Not often you can say got 7 mangas, and I paid around 1,000 each, so that's 1,000 Canadian, so 700 US. 700 US times 7 is almost $5,000 US that I've just put aside and waited 9 months to see if it was gonna be worth more, and it's clearly worth more. It's worth probably over 9 to 10,000 what I have in my hand right now. So that's assuming that I will sell them, and that's assuming that I sell them right now, which I won't. Even if I wanted to sell them right now, like these two, and probably Ace, and probably not one of the Namis. Like, that's selling these 3 right now. These I'm probably gonna keep aside for a while to see what happens with price, and just to keep in a collection because they're beautiful. These, I'm less of a fan of these characters, so I might try to sell now. Even if I want to sell them now, it'll probably take a while because it's big cards. I'll be on the Facebook groups, I'll be on the eBay, I'll be on maybe some card shows locally in East Coast New Brunswick, or maybe I will go to a US card show that's not too far because I'm close to the border in Maine. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see what we can get from these. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Get away what you want from this. This is not a recommendation for me. You just do what you want, what you think is safe. Do what you can afford. Do what you can. If you don't have any experience doing this, might not be the best idea. I've been grading cards, cracking slabs for over 5 to 8 years. Done multiple submissions for myself, for friends around, so I know what I'm doing. So if you're not used to it, maybe not a good idea, but it is a gamble. I could have gotten 9 on some of these. I'd be making much less money, and if you're able to have the funds to put aside and multiple $1,000s to just wait, it might be one of those good ideas, but I don't know. You do what you want. Not a recommendation, but it is a suggestion. Peace out. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.